My parents erased me from the family when I had cancer, so when I recovered and inherited $50 million from Grandma, they arrived with gifts saying, "We missed you so much." Before we begin, take a moment to subscribe, say hello below, and tell us where you're watching from. Your support truly means everything. Let's continue. The fluorescent lights in Dr. Morrison's office buzzed like angry wasps as she slid the scan across her desk toward me. Stage 3 breast cancer. I was 26 years old and the world had just tilted off its axis. My hands trembled as I gripped the armrests, my knuckles turning ash gray against my brown skin. "We need to start treatment immediately," Dr. Morrison said, her voice steady but her eyes betraying concern. I called my mother first. Always my mother. Growing up, she'd been the one who kissed scraped knees and stayed up late helping with school projects. "Mama, I need you," I whispered into the phone, tears streaming down my face. There was a long pause. "Cancer? Nadia, are you sure? That's a lot to deal with right now. Your sister Monique is getting married in 3 months, and we're so busy with planning." My stomach dropped. "Mama, did you hear me? I have cancer. Stage 3. I heard you, baby. Look, let me call you back. We're at the venue right now picking out centerpieces." The line went dead. I sat there in my car outside the medical building for 2 hours, waiting for her to call back. She never did. That moment, that exact moment, is when I should have known. But hope is a dangerous thing. It makes you excuse the inexcusable. If you've ever been abandoned by the people who were supposed to love you most, hit that subscribe button. This story gets darker before it gets lighter. I started chemotherapy 3 weeks later. Alone. My father picked up once and said, "Your mother told me. This is tough, Nadia, real tough. But you're strong. You'll get through it." Then he added something that would echo in my nightmares. "We just can't be around all that negative energy right now. Your sister's wedding needs to be perfect, and honestly, with you sick, it's just bringing everyone down." Negative energy. That's what I had become. Not their daughter fighting for her life. Negative energy. My younger brother Willis sent one text. "Sorry, sis. Mom said we shouldn't visit. Hospitals freak me out anyway." Monique, my sister, blocked my number. I found out through a cousin that she told the family I was being dramatic and attention-seeking because I couldn't be her maid of honor. The day I lost my hair, I took a selfie and posted it to our family group chat with the caption, "First chemo session done. Scared but fighting." I watched the read receipts pile up. That. Willis. Monique. Not one response. Then slowly I noticed something chilling. The messages in the group chat continued. About wedding dress fittings, about Dad's promotion, about Willis's new girlfriend, but none included me. They were talking around me as if I'd already died. I screenshot everything. Every ignored message, every family photo posted without me, every milestone I missed. I didn't know why then. Maybe I needed proof that this was really happening. Monique's wedding day arrived like a slap. I'd finished my 4th round of chemo 2 days before and could barely stand without feeling dizzy. But she was my sister. Despite everything, I thought maybe seeing me would remind them I was still here, still fighting, still family. I wore a wig and put on the dress I'd bought months ago when I was still supposed to be in the wedding party. The venue was gorgeous. A historic mansion with gardens that looked like something from a fairy tale. I walked in through the main entrance and immediately spotted my mother in an elegant champagne gown, laughing with relatives. "Mama," I called out softly. She turned, and for one beautiful second I thought I saw relief in her eyes. Then her expression hardened. "What are you doing here, Nadia?" she hissed, grabbing my arm and pulling me into a side hallway. "It's Monique's wedding. I'm her sister. You weren't invited. You're going to upset everyone looking like that." She gestured at me, at my thin frame, my pale complexion, the wig that didn't quite match my natural hair texture. "Monique specifically said she didn't want you here. This is her day." "I have cancer, Mama. I'm not contagious. I just wanted to." "You wanted to what? Make this about you? You've been doing that for months now." Her words were ice picks to my chest. My father appeared then, his face twisted in anger I'd never seen directed at me before. "You need to leave. Now. Before Monique sees you and gets upset." Security escorted me out. My own father called security on me at my sister's wedding. I sat in my car in the parking lot, sobbing so hard I thought I might vomit. Through the windows I could see the reception starting, see my family dancing and celebrating. I took a video, just 30 seconds of me crying in my car with the venue lit up behind me. I posted it to social media with the caption, "Kicked out of my sister's wedding because having cancer makes me negative energy." If you've ever felt invisible to your own family, you're not alone. The video went viral. 20,000 views in 2 hours. 50,000 by the next morning. Strangers sent messages of support, shared their own stories of family betrayal, donated to my GoFundMe for medical expenses. But my family? Radio silence. Then 3 days later, Monique posted a long statement on Facebook. "My sister Nadia is going through a difficult time, and instead of handling it privately, she's chosen to blast our family on social media. She wasn't invited to my wedding because she's been toxic and dramatic throughout my engagement. Cancer doesn't give you a free pass to be a bad person. I'm blocking her for my mental health. I wish her well." The comments from relatives poured in agreeing with her. Aunts I'd known my whole life called me manipulative. Cousins said I was jealous of Monique's happiness. My mother shared the post with 3 heart emojis. That's when something inside me crystallized into steel. These people weren't my family anymore. They'd made that choice. Now I had to make mine. I survived. Against odds that Dr. Morrison said were slim, I survived. 18 months of surgery, chemotherapy, radiation, and countless nights where I wasn't sure I'd see morning. My best friend Lauren was there through all of it, sleeping on my couch during the worst weeks, holding my hand during treatments, researching clinical trials when my primary treatment wasn't working. She became the sister I thought I had. The day I got my final clear scan, I called no one from my biological family. What was the point? I'd fought the hardest battle of my life completely alone, and I'd won on my own terms. I was 28 now, thinner but stronger, scarred but alive. I'd started a small graphic design business from my apartment during recovery, working from bed on good days, building something that was entirely mine. Then on a Tuesday morning in October, a lawyer named Mr. Whitfield called. "Miss Thompson? I'm the executor of your grandmother Sherry Thompson's estate. I'm calling because you're the sole beneficiary of her will." My grandmother had passed away 6 months earlier. I'd found out through an obituary online. My family hadn't even told me she was sick. I'd sent flowers to the funeral home but didn't attend, knowing I wouldn't be welcome. "I don't understand," I said. "Sole beneficiary? What about my parents, my siblings?" Mr. Whitfield's voice was careful, professional. "Your grandmother was very specific. She left them each $10,000. The remainder of her estate, approximately $50 million in assets, properties and investments, goes to you. She updated her will 15 months ago. She left a letter for you." Mr. Whitfield's office smelled like old books and furniture polish. He handed me a cream-colored envelope, my grandmother's elegant handwriting across the front. "To my Nadia, the strongest woman I know." My hands shook as I opened it. The letter was dated 2 weeks before her death, written in the spidery script of someone whose time was running out. "My dearest Nadia, if you're reading this, I've gone home to glory. I want you to know that I knew everything. Your mother called me once, about 6 months into your treatment, to tell me not to contact you. She said you were going through something and needed space. But your friend Lauren found my number and called me. She told me everything, how they abandoned you, how they erased you, how you fought alone. I wanted to fly to you immediately, but I was already sick myself and I was too weak to travel. So I did what I could do. I changed my will. Your parents thought they'd inherit my money and my properties. They started spending before I was even cold, taking loans against their inheritance, making plans. Let them. The shock will be sweeter. Nadia, you are the only one who loved me for me, not for what I could give you. Every Sunday call, every handwritten letter, every visit where you just sat and talked with me, those were worth more than all the gold in the world. Take this money and build a life so beautiful it makes their betrayal look small in comparison. Don't give them a cent. They showed you who they are. Believe them. I love you, baby girl. Make me proud. Grandma Sherry. I read it 3 times, tears falling onto the paper, smudging her final words. She'd known. She'd seen. And she'd acted. I sat on the news for 2 weeks, letting it settle into my bones, working with lawyers to understand the full scope of what I'd inherited. 4 properties in different states, a stock portfolio worth millions, the family estate where Grandma Sherry had lived, and liquid assets that made my head spin. I quit worrying about next month's rent. I quit worrying about medical debt. For the first time since my diagnosis, I could breathe. Then my cousin Tamar called. We'd been close once before she chose sides during my cancer treatment. Nadia? Oh my God, girl, I heard about Grandma's will. Is it true? Did she really leave you everything? Her voice was syrupy sweet, artificial as Splenda. I always knew you were her favorite. That's so amazing. We should celebrate. Maybe we could. There's no we, Tamar. Where were you when I was sick? Oh right, you were commenting on Monique's Facebook post calling me toxic. She laughed nervously. That was just, we didn't understand what was happening. You know how families are. But we can move past that now, right? Blood is thicker than water and all that. I hung up. Blood is thicker than water. But the full saying is, the blood of the covenant is thicker than the water of the womb. The family you choose is stronger than the family you're born into. That night my phone exploded. Relatives I hadn't heard from in 2 years suddenly remembered my number. Cousins who'd sided with Monique sent friend requests. Even my Uncle Troy, who'd told me I was playing victim when I posted that video, sent a text. Hey niece. Long time. We should catch up. 3 days later they showed up. I'd moved into a beautiful townhouse in a gated community, finally unpacking my life from the tiny apartment where I'd survived cancer. The doorbell rang at 7 p.m. I checked the camera and my blood froze. My mother and father stood on my porch holding gift bags, both dressed like they were attending a dinner party. My mother wore pearls. Pearls. To apologize for abandoning their daughter during cancer. I opened the door but didn't invite them in. What do you want? My voice was flat, dead. My father's smile was wide and fake. Baby girl. Look at you. You look wonderful. So healthy. He reached for a hug but I stepped back. My mother's eyes were already calculating, scanning what she could see of my new place behind me. Nadia, sweetheart, we've missed you so much. I know things have been complicated but family is family. We brought you some gifts, just some things to help you settle into your new place. Complicated. I repeated the word slowly. Is that what we're calling it? Complicated. My mother's face crumpled into a performance of remorse that would have won her an Oscar if it were genuine. Baby, we were wrong. So wrong. We were stressed with the wedding and we didn't handle your diagnosis well. But we've had time to reflect and we want to be in your life again. We want to make things right. Make things right. As if 2 years of abandonment could be erased with gift bags and crocodile tears. Did Grandma Sherry tell you she was leaving me her estate? I asked. The question landed like a bomb. They exchanged glances. We heard something about the will, my father admitted. I laughed. Actually laughed. Felt good, like lancing a wound. You heard something. Let me tell you what I heard. I heard my mother call me negative energy when I was fighting for my life. I heard my father say hospitals brought everyone down. I heard nothing, absolutely nothing, from my family for 18 months while poison dripped into my veins and I vomited until I tasted blood. But now you've missed me so much. My mother's mask slipped. Nadia, you don't understand the pressure we were under. Your sister's wedding cost $70,000. Your father's business was struggling. We couldn't. Couldn't what? Couldn't send a text? Couldn't visit once? Other people's parents slept in hospital rooms. Other people's parents shaved their heads in solidarity. Other people's parents showed up. My voice was rising now, 2 years of pain crystallizing into fury. You know what I did during chemo? I screenshot every message you ignored. Every family photo you posted without me. Every milestone I missed. I have proof of every single way you erased me. My father's expression hardened. You're really going to hold that against us forever? We made mistakes, but you're being vindictive now. Very vindictive. Your grandmother would be ashamed. That word. Vindictive. For setting boundaries. For refusing to pretend. Actually, I said, pulling out my phone and reading from Grandma Sherry's letter. Grandma said, and I quote, "Don't give them a cent. They showed you who they are. Believe them. She knew exactly what you did." Lauren told her everything. The color drained from my mother's face. Lauren, that girl poisoned Sherry against us? She had no right. She had every right. He was there. Where were you? Before my parents could respond, another car pulled up. Willis and Monique emerged, both dressed in expensive clothes I knew they couldn't afford. Willis had grown a beard, trying to look mature and responsible. Monique looked thinner, her edges laid perfectly, her makeup Instagram ready. They walked up like they were arriving at a party, not the scene of their abandonment crime. "There she is," Willis called out, arms spread wide. "The millionaire. Look at you, sis." Monique hung back slightly, her confidence wavering when she saw my expression. "Nadia, hey. It's been too long. You look really good." The awkwardness was suffocating. All four of them stood on my porch and I stood in my doorway, the threshold like a border they couldn't cross. "We wanted to come together," my mother said, recovering slightly. "To tell you we're sorry. All of us. We're family and family forgives." "Family forgives," I repeated. "Tell me, Monique, what exactly are you sorry for? Calling me dramatic for having cancer? Blocking my number? Kicking me out of your wedding while I was in treatment? Or are you just sorry you're not getting Grandma's money?" Monique's face flushed. "That's not fair. You don't know what it was like planning a wedding with all that drama happening. Mom and Dad were stressed, I was stressed. I had cancer." The words exploded from me. "I had cancer and you made it about your wedding. Do you understand how insane that is?" Willis stepped forward, trying to play peacemaker. "Look, we all messed up. But we're here now. That counts for something, right? We want to rebuild. Maybe you could help us out a little while we—" "There it is." I cut him off. "Help you out. That's why you're all here." My father, sensing the situation deteriorating, played his final card. "Nadia, we took out loans. Against our expected inheritance. Significant loans. We're in trouble, real trouble, and we thought as family you might—" Everything clicked into place. The designer clothes they couldn't afford. The desperation beneath the performance of reconciliation. "How much?" I asked quietly. The silence was deafening. Finally my mother spoke, her voice small. "Combined about 300,000. We thought we'd have more than enough to pay it back. We didn't know Sherry would do this to us. Do this to them." As if Grandma Sherry's choice to leave her money to the granddaughter who actually loved her was an attack. "You spent money you didn't have, banking on an inheritance you hadn't earned, and now you want me to clean up your mess?" "We're your parents," my father said, and for the first time, I heard fear in his voice. "You wouldn't let us lose everything, would you? After all we did for you growing up, after all the sacrifices we made." I thought about that word. Sacrifices. They'd given me life, raised me, fed me, clothed me. For 18 years they'd been good parents. But when I needed them most, when my life hung in the balance, they'd chosen a wedding and their pride over their daughter. One bad action doesn't erase 18 good years. But 18 good years don't excuse abandonment during cancer. "You made your choice," I said finally. "When I was sick and scared and alone. When I lost my hair and my strength and nearly my life. You chose then. Now I'm choosing. The answer is no." Monique's composure shattered. "You selfish bitch. We're going to lose our house. Willis might have to declare bankruptcy. And you're just going to let that happen because we made some mistakes." She stepped closer, her finger jabbing toward me. "You know what? You were always jealous of me. Always wanted what I had. This is just revenge because my wedding was more important than your pity party." Something cold settled over me. This was who they really were. Not the people in the gift bags and pearls. This. "Get off my property," I said calmly. "All of you. Now." My mother tried one more time, tears now streaming down her face. Real tears, but not for me. For the money. "Please, Nadia. Please. We're begging you. We'll do anything. We'll apologize publicly, we'll tell everyone we were wrong. Just help us. You should have thought about that before you called me negative energy. Before you kicked me out of a wedding while I was fighting for my life. Before you erased me from the family like I was already dead. I pulled out my phone and showed them the folder I'd created. Screenshots of every ignored message, every family photo without me, every cruel comment. I documented everything. If you harass me, if you contact me again, if you try to challenge Grandma's will, I will post every single one of these. Everyone will know exactly who you are. My father's face went purple with rage. You ungrateful, we gave you everything. We raised you. And I paid you back by being a good daughter for 26 years. Or even. Now leave. I stepped back and closed the door. Through the window I watched them stand there, arguing among themselves, my mother sobbing, Willis pacing, Monique screaming. Finally they left. 6 months have passed. I haven't heard from them directly, though I know through mutual friends that they're struggling. They lost the house. Willis did declare bankruptcy. Monique's marriage is falling apart under the financial pressure. My mother sends cards to my P.O. box sometimes, never directly apologizing, just reminders that family should forgive, and grudges poison the soul. I don't respond. People ask if I feel guilty. The truth? Sometimes. Late at night, I remember my mother teaching me to braid hair, my father's proud smile at my high school graduation, family dinners that felt warm and whole. Those people existed once. But they disappeared when I got sick, and the people who showed up at my door weren't them. They were strangers wearing familiar faces, motivated by money, not love. I've built a beautiful life now. I've donated $1 million to cancer research and patient support programs. I've created scholarships for young women fighting serious illnesses. I've bought Lauren a house because she was there when no one else was. I travel, I create, I breathe without the weight of their toxicity. But here's the truth they don't tell you about cutting off toxic family. It doesn't feel triumphant. Feels sad. Feels like mourning people who are still alive. Some days I see a mother and daughter shopping together and my chest aches. Some days I want to call my mom and tell her about my day. Then I remember her face when she called me negative energy, and the ache turns to anger, then to acceptance. I survived cancer. That was the hard part. Surviving my family's betrayal? That was somehow harder. But I did it. And now I'm building something they can never touch, never taint, never take away. Is it a happy ending? No. But it's an honest one. And sometimes that's enough. If my story resonated with you, please subscribe and share. Healing isn't linear and boundaries aren't cruel. Sometimes the most loving thing you can do is walk away. If this story resonated with you, please like, subscribe, and share. You're not alone in choosing yourself. And remember, family is who shows up, not who shares your blood. Thank you for listening to my story. Drop a comment about your own journey, and remember, your peace matters more than their comfort.